First of all, if you're considering selling your building, you should very carefully evaluate a couple key criteria before you make that decision. And the first one is if you're tired of managing your property, if you're doing that yourself, is there a better alternative? So, for a lot of owners, it may be the case that you should go out and hire a property manager, and that'll help take the burden off of you. But for a lot of owners, letting go of control of a property that they've managed for a long time is really hard. And it is also difficult to find a quality property manager. So what you should do is look at the difference in your net operating income by 15%. And the reason I say 15% is because even though property managers may charge somewhere between 5 and 10% for their management, usually there's going to be a higher vacancy and turnover cost when you have a property manager in place. Because let's face it, nobody's going to manage the building quite like you are. So you need to account for those higher turnover expenses. And that's why I would say use 15% as your ratio when evaluating the cost of hiring a property manager and if that's worthwhile to you. If it is, great, maybe you should take that route. But if it's not, then let's go to step two. So step two is to consider the equity that you have in the property. And oftentimes what happens is if owners have owned this property for a long time, they say, well, it cash flows great because, they have no mortgage. Well, of course it cash flows great. But what they need to do is look at, is that money being put to good use? So let's say that they bought the property for $2 million, but it's now worth $5 million. Is that $5 million of equity that's sitting there, is that actually giving you a good return? So if it's not giving you an actually quality cash on cash return for the value of that $5 million equity, you as the owner need to look at it not as your $2 million purchase, but your $5 million purchase. Because if you sell and you take that $5 million and put it to use in another investment, is it going to get you a better return? And that is the criteria that you want to look at.